Hey, thanks for coming back to Planning to Fail. I'm Tim Cox, and today we're joined by Maddy, Tyers and Jimmy Eaton, and today we're going to be talking about their short film, One for the Money.
Cha-ching.
2 for the show, 3 get ready, let's go, cat, go!
Hello?
I'm outside. Bring the money.
Hello, Angel. Do you have time to talk about dogs?
Sorry, I don't have time to talk about dogs right now. Hold the lid! What are you, deaf?
I'm blind.
Shit.
I'd see bad things for you, though.
Great chat.
Maddy, Jimmy, let's talk about One for the Money. Do you have a log line or an elevator pitch?
Yeah, you're the producer. You go for it.
Oh,
it's your job.
It is, well, it's our first short film, Tim, ever that we've made, and we are so proud of it. But I suppose a little synopsis of the film is basically a woman is racing through the day to deliver money to some mysterious person outside. And it is a time-lapse adventure at the same time, very much a homage to some of our favourite 90s films, Run Lola Run, Trainspotting, lots of little fun Easter eggs in there. Fight Club.
Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, and you had a lot of those posters in the backgrounds.
Homages to those posters for legal reasons.
Oh, that's right, you're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. I did the research
Very
first to go,
close to.
how can I get sued if I make a film? Cool, I'm going to do the opposite of that. What we also love about One for the Money is we probably should have called it One for the Exposure.
Yes.
Because I think so far we've made like negative $4,000 from the film. It's a Tropfest film.
Yeah.
So we have not made any money from it so far, but a lot of people have seen it, and
Yes.
it's led to some really great opportunities.
And how's that exposure? Because I swear I saw you on, what was it, the morning show, the Today Show, one of
Yeah.
those morning TV
Yeah.
shows. That's good exposure.
We've made it.
You made it.
We don't need money.
You don't need money when you've made it.
We've got the glow of the Today Show to feed us and our small child.
Child.
I said children because I was thinking of the dog as well.
But yeah, the first film we've made, I mean, seriously,
Yes.
it was such a fun experience. And I mean, we only ever set out to just make a fun film for Tropfest with a bunch of our mates and throw it out there and see what happens. But yeah, it kind of gathered a bit of momentum, and we got to this wild card sort of top 25 section of the competition. And yeah, it's been seen by quite a lot of people, and we've had some really good reception from it. But it's also, I think, just spurred our love for filmmaking. And, you know, since One for the Money, which we shot back in October last year,
Good memory.
we have shot another 2 shorts that we're sort of starting to get out into the festival world. And we've got a few other projects on the burners as well. So I think if anything, it really just lit the flame,
Yeah.
lit the fire under our bums, I suppose,
Yeah.
to get creating and deal with all our mates. Because yeah, we've just got an incredible community of creatives around us, and it's like, let's just all band together and make fun stuff that we want to see.
Yeah, I think Tropfest really helped because it had that hiatus. And as a small boy child, I always watched Tropfest and went, oh, I really want to have a short film in that one day. And then I think, 6 years ago went, I'll see if Tropfest is open. It was not. And then when we heard that it had re-established itself, we thought, yeah, let's do this.
Was it COVID that closed it down?
No, I think it was poor money management.
Potentially, who knows? I think it stopped in 2018, and
Yeah.
it's only,
wow.
it's only just come back in this year. So 8 years of not being around. So,
But it came back
it's
in a big way as well.
it really did, and it's been so, I suppose, inspiring to see how much the film community have gotten behind it, and pretty much everyone we know in the film community made something for Tropfest.
Yeah.
In fact, we were just out in your living room and noticed an hourglass. So it is something that I think is back with a vengeance in a good way.
Yeah.
And while we didn't get into the final 16 films? Yeah.
Yes.
What was incredible was that wildcard competition. We got our film put onto YouTube with 10 other wildcards.
Yeah.
We were vying for a spot to get into that final spot. We didn't get in, but because of how fierce that competition was, we had so many eyes on the film.
Yeah.
Newspapers interviewing us. I think the top 3 films in Tropfest got a lot of views on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah.
And this isn't like but our film got more views than most of the final films in Tropfest, and I think that's what you want. Right?
Yeah,
Is
and
people
honestly,
watching your film.
and that's the reason why we make the films to begin with. But I was
That
actually
was not a sucked in.
no.
I respect and love all of the filmmakers.
No, but honestly, like it's a really interesting point that you bring up, and it was something that I was actually thinking about during that kind of wild card period of Tropfest. Was surely it's almost better to be not obviously you'd want to be in the festival. Obviously, you actually want to get the
fame
festival,
and
but
fortune.
you don't want any of that. We don't want any of that.
Views.
But I was honestly wondering, like, is it more beneficial to be one of these wild cards because of all the extra exposure and because of like this competition that you're desperately because like how many people actually not to disparage anyone at Tropfest, but like the number of people that physically went to Tropfest compared to the number of people that were engaging in this wild card.
True. Such a good question.
I'm not sure. I guess time will tell. But what was really lovely is one of the best men at our wedding. He is a sound designer, works on a bunch of amazing films. Mad Max. He's just helped with the Racker Brothers' new documentary. He looked at the exposure we were getting and he's like, Maddy, Jimmy, don't worry. Your film has had more exposure than a lot of feature films that are fully funded has had. So we kind of went, oh, cool. That's pretty cool.
And it was, to be fair, also obviously Tropfest has just come back, and this wild card competition was the first time they've ever done this as well. So it was a very new experience for everyone involved. And we also knew some of the other filmmakers in the wild card process, so we were kind of going through it together. But for me as well, I found it a really cool experience as a sort of a newbie producer to learn. Like it was like a, super quick boot camp in marketing and PR for that 10 days. Like it was just such a whirlwind experience, but in a really good way. Like we learnt so much in that time and how to put your film out there and gather momentum and stuff. So yeah, it was so much fun, and I'm so proud of it still. You know, we it's still up there on the Tropfest YouTube page. And,
I check the views, twice a day.
An hour.
Oh Lord. But yeah, insane, going back to what I was saying earlier, Tim, like that experience has just made us go, oh no, we're itching to get messy. And yeah, we're super proud of the next couple of films that we've made.
Yeah.
In fact, we're actually heading to Tassie this coming weekend for a film festival.
Fantastic.
Very short film festival in Tasmania. It's done in Hobart. One of our
very short film.
Very short film called Here We Go Again is a finalist in the competition. So we'll be heading down next weekend. So very excited for that.
That's so good.
And yeah, we're actually a finalist this time. So we'll see what that experience is like.
Yes.
You don't have to battle it out on YouTube to get a spot.
Yes.
Any kind of like panel, because I know that very short film festivals, they kind of have panel discussions. There
will be. There's a couple of networking events, like the actual ceremony and awards evening. That the panel of judges is pretty prolific. Missy Davies is on the panel.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It feels very community and arts protest, which I love. I mean, Tasmania is so beautiful too, so we're just so excited to get down and mingle and network. And a lovely friend of ours and co-producer on this film, Adam Bigham, is coming with us too. So the three of us are going to go and hang and hopefully meet some other fun filmmakers.
Yeah.
Do the thing, do the schmooze.
Do the schmoozing, rub some elbows.
Literally.
Have a couple of glasses of champagne. And,
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I think my favourite thing is meeting those other filmmakers and learning where we can collaborate, and that's what's been really good from Tropfest and this festival is having met those fellow filmmakers and going, hey, would you mind, like, hey, they contacted us going, we loved your film, and then we see their films and go, oh, we loved yours. Yeah. Would you mind coming and mentoring on our next production? And it's just finding these great people to work with. Yeah. And, you can't do it all yourself.
No, you can't. Yeah. You can't. And I think a lot of the time when you are starting out, you want to do it all yourself because you're too anxious to ask other people for help, or you're too anxious to and especially if you don't have the financing to pay people, it's kind of difficult to be like, how can I, collaborate with people if I can't if I don't have, if there's not the
Yeah.
money there. But often everyone else is in that same boat as you, and everyone wants to collaborate, wants someone to call them up and ask them like, hey, do you want to come and work on this?
Yeah, and you can return the favor by helping them out.
Exactly.
An incredible VFX artist, Adam McKenzie, helped set a man on fire for us in one of our films. I'm like, oh God, how much would you like for this? And he's like, mate, do it for free.
He's just happy to set someone on fire.
Yeah.
Literally.
Who do you want me to set on fire? I love flames. But, he was just like, next time I'm doing a film, you come and return the favor.
Yeah.
He's not offering free work to people. You heard me saying that.
Yeah, he's not offering to set anyone on fire in case anyone has that kind of kink. Let's move past that. So what were you doing before you were making this film? You had been in the industry for a while, but not making any of your own films before One for the Money?
We've lived many lives. I think we first met each other working in a children's charity. We're both actors. We were on a little tiny show called Lego Masters Australia, which seems like a fever dream thinking about that. Maddy and I broke the company rule and married each other and made children. And in terms of filmmaking, we've started, I guess, collaborating. I'm collaborating with my wife.
Oh.
Our first feature was a baby.
Yeah.
We make a lot of sketches. Our origins are in comedy, and that's really helped. We set ourselves a goal to try and create, write, film, star in. Often the other person is holding the baby, being quiet while the other person is on screen. Edit, and then release a sketch almost every week. And that's been such great training for us to learn how to, work quickly, effectively, learn from our mistakes, which are a lot of
Mistakes. But also
that's where we
have kept us. It's kept us sane as well. We have been in the industry for so long, Tim. I mean, individually, 25 plus years, and to be able to just make stuff together is the funnest thing ever. And we have so much fun. We do yell at each other occasionally, but
Hey, you're gonna yell at people you work with regardless.
Literally, we're holding booms and babies and all of that. In fact, our daughter, who's 2.5 years old, she can now say action.
Yeah, what was her first word?
That's good that she's not picking up any of the other words.
True. Very true.
What's really funny though is I'm such a wanker. I think, I've been a content creator but have called myself a filmmaker for so long.
Yeah.
And then when Tropfest came out, I was like, better fucking make a film.
Yeah.
If I'm going to tell myself ourselves a filmmaker, better actually make one. And now I can.
Yes.
I'm a filmmaker.
You can call yourself that, yeah.
So we started Win-Win Productions, which is a little nod to our daughter Winnie, in October last year when we made One for the Money, and we're like, bugger it, it's time. So, and since then it's just been a steady flow of things that we've made. And so Jimmy's also written another unreal short that I'm very excited
That's my favourite,
about.
and that's the one that hasn't got into any festivals yet. It's the one that I think is the best. Has not.
That's always the way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it did get into one festival, but then we bailed from that festival because we thought, oh no, we want to get into this other festival, and then that other festival came around and went, nah.
Yeah.
So now we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fun game of festivals.
That is
submitting.
the festival
We're
circuit
learning.
where
I can't
where
wait
the
for that.
biggest festivals, they're like, we got to be your premiere, but we're only going to tell you after all of the other festivals have made their decision.
It's such an interesting strategic.
Yeah.
It's again all new to me. I've gotten a little spreadsheet and I'm trying to work out what's the best way of going about it. But we're
That film is like the soul sibling of One for the Money. It has many of it's a oneer as well. It's been shot in one take, which the actors did an incredible job because there's a lot of synchronized dialogue.
Yeah.
It's wild, but I'm really excited for that to come out because it's also got little nods to One for the Money in it. It's not a sequel, but we're very excited.
It's like it's shared cinematic, like a Tarantino-esque,
Actually, all of our films are in a Tarantino-esque,
World.
Stephen King
Yeah.
shared.
Yes.
universe.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So let's talk about One for the Money. So you've done it as an exercise for Tropfest. How did you start? What was your jumping off point?
This is the weirdest inception for how a film is made. Friend Harris, who is in the film as the creepy dude in the blue suit.
Yep.
I'm sure that
Jehovah's Witness, I believe. Maybe not a Jehovah's.
Door-to-door salesman.
a nondescript religious daughter sort
Yes,
of salesman.
yep.
We are, I'm going to say like 2 or 3 years prior, were helping him and his lovely lady move into the house. I walked into the building and went, this is a cool building. I'm going to write a film to shoot in this building. So the location was the impetus for making the film. Then, as I think we've already discussed, I have a love for those sort of like indie action-esque art house films of the 90s, and Run Lola Run is one of my favorite films. And so it really was a love letter to that. But the idea was that I wanted to follow this woman waking up, getting this strange phone call of needing money outside, and I wanted to follow her in real time through this building. So there are no cuts as she runs through the entire building. And then, of course, it going awry, and then us seeing the different attempts and how she changes her approach to solving the mission. But then, obviously, because we come from a sketch comedy background, we couldn't help but
Make it a little bit funny.
funny as well.
have that
Which I've heard is a
punchline.
curse in the world
Is
of
that right?
in the world of film festivals. Apparently, comedy is poo-pooed.
I poo-poo the film festivals then.
Right.
I think that's such a weird thing because comedy is so much more digestible than like, you know, I mean, if you do it right, sure, like a dramatic thing, maybe, but like, you know, if you just go in and watch a random film, comedy is so much easier to watch than a lot of other stuff that's
We've
going
found
on.
people with your opinion. We've also found other people who have disagreed.
And those
had
people run
very
festivals.
Hard feelings about how important
Yes.
their film is.
Yeah.
And their film is so important and serious.
Yes.
And how dare a comedy film be
Yeah.
in a comedy in a film competition against their very
Yeah.
serious film. So
wow.
it's
also
an
think, like,
interesting one.
Comedy is hard to do well, right?
Yes.
Like it's hard
Yeah,
to do well,
very
and
true.
so you don't often see them in film festivals. But I do think it
Done well.
done well. But I think you know they do break up a lot of the seriousness and heaviness that do tend to come with
Yeah.
those like really sort of dramatic stories that are very popular, I suppose. But going back to One for the Money too, it was very much like you'd kind of had the script and idea in your head for a very long time.
Even before the Tropfest
Yeah.
thing had come along.
Well, then when they introduced the Tropfest, you know, item that you
Yep.
need to include in the film, it was an hourglass, and the idea for the film was like, oh my god, well, this is about a time loop.
Yes.
Just like an hourglass is just perfect.
Yeah.
And so it features very heavily in the film because it is the perfect metaphor for the film. I watched some of the other films. I couldn't even find an hourglass.
Yeah, some of them it's like it's just in the background. It's just an
Yeah,
hourglass.
which
It
is
has nothing to
fine.
do
I
with
don't think
anything.
it really matters. It's
Yeah.
just it's to get, you know, the ideas flowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I heard hourglass. I had this idea in my head. I sat down in front of the computer, and it took about 2 days to write the script after that had been, you know, rattling around in my head. Yeah. And then we decided to make it really easy for ourselves and shoot it in 3 one-shots.
Yes.
That we used together.
Perfect. And luckily, Harris and Abby still lived in the apartment.
Yeah.
It was literally like hey, can we come and shoot? But I've got a role for you too. And because he's an amazing comedic actor as well. So yeah, all the pieces of the puzzle kind of like came together. But there were things that did kind of go wrong.
There were a lot of
for us
puzzle
as
pieces
well.
that fell out of the puzzle and underneath the fridge and
Yeah.
very. We like, and that's what this show is about.
That's what this show is about. And so
Yeah.
we absolutely do definitely want to hear what went wrong, what you weren't expecting, or even what.
Dickhead
Yeah.
wrote a lift into the film. So I'm like,
Okay.
I know there's a lift in the film. This is it's like pivotal to the
Yeah.
story of the film.
Yeah.
If the lift breaks, the film sucks, like doesn't work. The lift broke down.
Oh, no.
The lift had been working fine for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then Harris gives me a call going, hey buddy, the lift's broken.
Oh.
I was just like, this is like 2
days
days out
before we
before the
shoot.
film.
no.
thankfully it got fixed like hours before we got.
It was very, very, very fine tooth comb, like between us deciding to
Something
go or
else,
not.
something else dodgy was happening. I think like someone was moving house on
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
But we managed to go, well, let's just get around this by not recording any sound.
Yes.
And because of the style of the film,
Yeah.
it allowed us to do all the dialogue in ADR.
Yeah.
Because it's very flashy and,
Yeah.
and it just suits the genre.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we did because we had like babies crying and Isaiah came in like vacuuming with an industrial vacuum for you in our room. There wasn't a few takes where we were like, because I'm on Steadicam running through this building.
Yeah.
And there were a few takes where like an old woman came out of her apartment and went, "Oh, hello. What are you doing? Oh, this is great."
Yes.
Oh, this is
Sticky
fantastic."
beaking.
And I deleted that footage. I wish I'd kept it.
Yeah.
It would have been some good BTS. Actually.
Yes.
We got-
Well, you might have even made it into the final cut.
Literally.
But
literally.
it seems to follow us. There was another time on our second film where we were about to shoot and then the building was going to have industrial cleaning
that's right.
in it.
Oh no.
And I rang them and went, "Hey, is it okay? Like, does this industrial cleaning have to happen?" He's like, "Nah, could happen anytime." I'm like, "Oh, we're doing a film like in this building. Is that okay?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so. Like, do you want me to move it?" I was like, yeah, that'd be great. He's like, "Oh, fantastic." Anyway, like closer to the date, they're like, "Oh, by the way, a building's getting demolished. Like next door." I'm like, is that going to affect the film? I'm like, "Oh, kind of." But we just, I guess like that's what we're learning is like making
Shit
a
happens,
film.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 15% of it, and I think like 85% is problem solving and going, "Okay, cool. Well, let's just."
Roll with it.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
It's
thankfully
worked so far.
you're an improviser at the core, and I like to think that I'm an improviser at times, but you just kind of have to be like on the
Yes,
film set.
yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's happening. How are we going to kind of work
Yeah,
around it?
you got to adapt. But do you tend to find a lot of these adaptations that you have to make that they kind of put you in a direction that's possibly even better than what you were planning?
I think so, and I think we've learned that you really need, like, this is a bit woo-woo, but you really just need to accept it. Otherwise, the universe is going to go, "Oh, we're going to make it worse."
Yes.
If you go, "Okay,
Yeah.
well, this is just going to happen."
You can't fight against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because a building was being demolished next door, and we were so lucky because at the end of every take, when we called cut, we just hear this.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh my god!"
Like there was a construction worker back there just like holding up a
literally.
pillar waiting to
Those
drop
guys
it.
were so cool. They were like, "Oh wow, you're making a film? Oh
Yeah.
sweet!"
They were
Yeah.
great. They gave us like bollards to like, because there was all obviously construction happening,
Yep.
like blocked off a car park, but they allowed all of our actors to come in and they blocked us off the
VIP
bollards. Like,
experience.
yeah, like VIP. I was like, oh,
That's so
this
good.
couldn't have been better.
And we put we put like the side manager's name in the special thanks.
Oh,
That's in the credits.
yeah.
So we're like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. But yeah, when things, curveballs are thrown,
Yeah.
you just got to kind of like work out. How
Yeah, because honestly, like one of the things that I loved the most about One for the Money was the fact that the dialogue was ADR.
Yeah.
Because of the way that it was shot, the stylistic way that it was shot, as you say, like influenced by those kind of fast-paced movies from the 90s. The fact that your voice just wasn't quite matching the lips as they were moving, I was like, to me, there's nothing more engaging. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like a weird thing where like I enjoy watching not quite perfectly dubbed audio.
I'm glad you said that because we had a version where the ADR was a lot cleaner and like more realistic.
Yeah.
But my incredible sound designer was like, "Hey, what if we left it
actually-
slightly off?" I think it kind of like
Adds to
is
it.
more of a homage to that era. And we were
Yeah.
like, we looked and went, "Yeah, it's kind of
It's
cool. It's kind
trippy.
of like those kung fu films." Where
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it does have that like stylistic, almost like a music video kind of
Yeah.
vibe to it. Which is a whole other element of our filmmaking, and that particular film is your amazing sound. Composer. Who wrote that specific piece for the film, and I feel like that's a character in the film itself
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's the hi-hat, I think, that's like really drive. If I remember
I
correctly.
used an edit track like to edit to.
Yeah.
And it was like Cut Chemist, like a very kind of hip hop instrumental song through it. And, you're sitting there editing the film, like putting it together for such a long time and speed ramping it to make it fit into things. And I was like, oh, I'm so bored of this film. I don't even know if this is a film anymore. Does this suck? I'm not sure. And then we got Steve's, and then sent it off to Steve to do his magic. He composed, recorded most of the instruments himself, sent it back. We laid it onto the edit, and it was just it just lifted the film completely. It was a different film.
Yeah.
And I mean, you gave him a couple of little Whiplash, Birdman, kind of that instrumental, sort of drumming references. And I mean, he's just a genius.
Yeah.
Steve Hearn, and we did
Steve
in
He did the soundtrack to the other film that I'm waiting to come out as well. It's even better. It's so good.
Which is amazing. So
I was like, can you do jazz mixed with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? And he was like, oh, and then sent it to me. I'm like, that's that.
That's it. That's what we asked for.
so good.
That's great. That's great. And so I do love also from One for the Money, the stylistic kind of, I mean, obviously the whole thing's one a steady cam, but there's also kind of like, I don't know how you describe it, like a glitchy almost quality. How did you accomplish that?
Yeah, we pushed the color and the saturation really hard to obviously make it look like that, like really 90s. And then just I speed ramped a lot through it. So when there was moments where she's just running, because we had to make it short, there's a lot of speeding up. And then we just put a lot of filters and overlays to make it look as much like that sort of 90s film as we could. Given that we shot it on an iPhone.
Yeah. And that's, look, what was the actual budget? You say you dropped $4,000 in the hole on this, but how much of that was spent on the film itself?
I think most of it's been spent on festival applications.
Right.
Yeah, really, honestly, you bought the new iPhone. Not that I think we included.
Does that count in the budget?
I think it probably does include it in that.
It's look, again, we had our incredible crew that we paid with food on the day,
and
as you do,
kindness and
kindness
favours.
and love. But you bought this iPhone for the shoot, because you're like, we're going to shoot in a couple of weeks, and my phone's a bit crappy, but that was the plan, to use a phone.
Yeah, we'd always used phones in sketch, not because we wanted to, but because we were poor, and just the ability to run through an apartment block. With one camera operator, there's no focus puller.
And you had a gimbal for the phone? Is that?
We had a gimbal, but we lost the gimbal, so it's just me with
literally.
Okay.
There's a mount.
A cage.
But that iPhone 17 has such a great stabilization. I didn't really need it. We tried using a gimbal, but because we're shifting so fast, we had to recalibrate the gimbal, and we just thought actually
working.
it's just better if we just have the mount.
That makes sense.
But to run through and pull focus so much and keep Maddy in focus at different distances from the camera, we could have used a camera with lenses, but we didn't have the budget. We didn't have the room. So using the phone actually was a lifesaver. It made it so versatile. We were able to go down stairwells without.
It's smaller. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about how much space you're taking up. And I wonder, I mean, I'm not a camera guy.
If anyone's got a red that they want to that's great. But we were using what we could that was in our means.
Yes.
Really did the job. I think their depth of field that works in the iPhone was good enough for what we could afford.
Yes.
I would love to work with incredible, DOPs in the future, but for the budget we were on and for what we needed to do, the camera was using a phone.
Absolutely.
Was incredible and so accessible for us who are new filmmakers.
And you're not the only ones that are doing it as well. Who was it? Danny Boyle. I think it was Danny Boyle, and they did 28 years later
I'm pretty sure he
on
saw
an
our
iPhone.
film.
He saw yours. He saw.
No.
But I imagine that if you had a cinema camera, that you would also therefore, as you're talking about like these depth of field issues, you'd also have to have someone focus pulling.
Well, because we're in one shot, there's so many, we're running downstairs, we're running through hallways, there's doors closing that need to be in focus.
Yeah,
Open,
yeah.
It needs to focus on that. It did the job for us.
So, I mean, one question that I always like to ask the guests is, if you had an unlimited budget, if you had a lot of, wouldn't that be nice? But if you had an unlimited budget and if you had like a big studio backing you to make this project, would you do it the same way? Would you do it as you've already done it, or would you, spend all that money?
I don't think there would be huge differences. I would like to pay people.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Paying people.
and using like I would love to get art directors in and like really
Production designers.
really good
Yeah.
lighting directors and runners and crew that are really there to help lift up the film. But there's something really lovely and fun about working with a skeleton crew as well. I think when we start to get more successful and have those opportunities, I'm going to be so much more grateful to have those extra hands on deck because we've had to do it all ourselves.
Yes. I think that's been a really cool part of the learning process and really important for us too, is to do all the jobs, So, Jimmy's also doing art design and I'm doing like production management and catering. And so it's like, oh God, we've got to think of 8,000 things. But, hopefully one day when we do have the more means,
The resources.
we know how to do all those things.
Yeah.
We know how things sort of flow and operate.
I've just written a film that we would definitely not be able to do ourselves.
Yes.
And it's a huge fight. It's basically a 5-minute long fight scene.
Yep.
With a lot of VFX, a lot of
Amazing
choreography, and so with that, we're really excited to start like extended.
Yes.
But still taking all the lessons and the valuable skills building that we've learned from these films into that next production. But I'll definitely have mentors, and I've got an incredible stuntman and choreographers and some incredible production design. Someone has a computerized head, so we're building incredible props.
Oh, fantastic.
Because I don't want to murder anyone.
No, that makes sense. So what is on the horizon for you both at the moment? I mean, obviously you've got all these films going to festivals. First of all, I'd like to know what's going to happen next with One for the Money. Is it run its course, or are you going to try and maybe get into other festivals?
Yeah, I've submitted it into a bunch of other festivals. So I think it's out in the ether, the wide world. I think maybe I've got it in about 10 to 12 festivals that we're waiting to hear about, which is very exciting. Yes. But I think
with the exposure that Tropfest has sort of given it, it has been seen by a lot of people. Yeah. But that's exciting because we're just like, let's make more stuff.
Yes, exactly. But I think the thing for us is obviously getting these other 2 film babies out into the world. Here We Go Again and Team Player. But we're also just itching to make the short that you've written.
I've got a feature that I've written that again is like, they're all just as ridiculous. Like, if the One for the Money is ridiculous, like we just go, let's make it even harder for ourselves.
Yeah.
Can we get some drones into a one shot? Like Adolescence, have you seen that? They flew a drone. I was like, I want to do that, but even harder. And then we're also looking at a series, a web series.
Circle.
Yeah. Oh,
So I have to be a bit tight-lipped about.
Yeah. But it's been I think One for the Money it will always probably remain my little baby of the project, because it was the first thing we did and we learned so much, but it really just ignited the fire.
And it had an incredible actress in it as well.
Oh, and my dad was in it. That was pretty cool. My dad played Harmonica Harry, who's the guy.
On the stairwell. Yes,
super fun. So
that was so bluesy. It was such a nice
very
touch.
Bluesy and very very my dad all over. He loved it.
But I think one thing that you guys have done so successfully with this is you've let it galvanize you. clearly, because I think that there are so many people that October last year that you did this, that was what, less than 6 months ago? 6 months-ish
It feels
ago?
like about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm aged.
Hey, that's every year these days. That's every 6 months these days. But you know, I think for most filmmakers, most early career filmmakers will go entire years between making films, and you've done 3 in the space in less than a year. After that first one, so clearly it has lit the fire underneath you.
We get bored easily too. So it's like, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Which is good. We're both very of that mind. And we kind of, I think, you know, that's why we work so well together. We sort of inspire each other.
And do you think, I wonder if being in this relationship where you're both kind of driving each other, do you think that maybe helps? Because I think maybe a lot of filmmakers are stuck on their own. They're solo. They don't, I've got this idea, I don't know what to do with it. But if you two are bouncing off of each other, do you think that helps?
Yeah, we're lucky. I mean, you know so many actors. You are an actor. People keep putting me behind the camera. I love, you know, directing. I love, you know, being a director of photography. I'm also an editor. That's my job during the day.
Yep.
So I think we're very lucky to have a lot of the stops along the line from concept to final product that we can cover. Whereas I think some, you know, a writer, for example, would write a film and then spend so long trying to get their script to, you know, final product. We have friends who are writers who write films, and it seems like a horrible experience at the time watching their baby then transformed through the process. But I think we're really blessed to have so many of those skills.
So that I think our skills sort of complement one another. And, you know, like you said, Ginny does, you know, a lot of the writing. I'm sort of dabbling in the writing and really enjoying that process. But, you know, you do all the editing, whereas I'm like more sort of the producer side and like, you know, organizing sort of the production from a wider lens, and, you know, all the festival submissions and connecting with crew and whatnot. And I think all of those things combined really kind of complement one another.
And we're surrounded by very talented friends and fellow, you know, crew as well. I definitely don't want to Tommy Weasel it and sort of make this
Spend $6 million.
I have learned through the process of trying to do too much to begin with, going, actually, you can delegate. And like, for example, with Steve with the music, and my friend Brendan, who does the incredible sound design, like, and through the journey of filmmaking, going, oh, there's a DOP that I can actually hire, and now I can just focus as a director. Like, I'm really excited about collaborating. I think you can incorrectly make the journey quite lonely for yourself if you try to do too much. And so I think we've got this great relationship, but we've also had an incredible set of really talented comedians and actors around us, you know, crew. And then through this journey, we're meeting even more people. I think we want to widen our world and make more relationships. And that's one of the funnest parts of it, I think.
For sure.
Because we do not know everything.
Oh, no.
No.
We don't.
But I think also it seems like you have which a lot of people lack, the ability to just ask. You know, the worst thing that someone can say is no, but like, you know, you're asking, you're inviting people to collaborate with you, which is...
That is the funnest part. Like, I'm a real person. I love making friends, and I love community, and like that to me, like the film community is such a special space. And, you know, in the last couple of years, we've really widened that community. And I think everyone has so many amazing things to offer. It's just like, let's just do stuff because it's fun and we want to be on set. Like, if we could be on set every day, we would. And so trying to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And it's like almost like asking the person out that you have a crush on, like, oh, but what if they say no? But that's the worst thing that can happen. And I think in the film world, like, more times than not, people have said yes.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, actually, I really like... I think if the project is fun and fulfilling and you feel like you can get something really cool out of it, a lot of people just go, that sounds great. As long as there's balance in the relationship and what you're offering is going to help them in
100%.
just manipulating, exploiting people.
And I promise we will feed you well.
Yes.
We will until we do get these big budgets, which I'm hoping comes eventually.
What kind of craft services are you offering your
Very
talents?
good question. Lots of catering. We do a lot of shout out to Elizabeth Andrews Catering. She is amazing.
That was our rule, really, is like, don't waste people's time.
Yep.
Feed them really
them.
well.
Yep.
And give them a good experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Respect them. Like, deliver a great product to them that they can
use somehow.
use.
Yeah.
And then we'd love to pay them as well. But if you can do all of those things as well, we found that people are like, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. If you waste people's time, I
think
then
that-
leave them hungry and then show them the product and they're like, that's the back of my head, you asshole.
Yeah.
Then they're never going to want to work with you again. But we've got a good crew and they keep wanting to work with us again.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Exactly.
It is. Well, Maddy, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for talking about it. Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us in your cinema.
Yes, yeah, we got a screening of the latest movie that's out currently at the moment.
Yes, I've heard that's a great review.
Great
The
reviews.
actors and the performances were very
Terrific.
good.
But thank you so much for coming. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for talking about One for the Money. And make sure to go and watch that link in the description below. And be sure to follow Jimmy and Maddy on their various socials because they are doing some amazing things at the moment.
I desperately need your views.
He needs the views. We've established that he's a slave to the views. So
Nothing
go
else
and follow
matters.
him.
Daddy, love me.